This is Gustaf Hoffstedt from the Swedish Trade Association in Sweden, obviously. I would like to give you a heads up on what's going on in Sweden right now at the moment. As most of you probably are aware of, we received additional requirements from the Swedish government as of 1st of July to begin with, and that was probably the most important amendment to the Swedish regulation. We received a mandatory deposit limit, a weekly mandatory deposit limit. Swedish punters were allowed to deposit 5,000 Swedish krona weekly, but no more. And there was also a mandatory decrease when it comes to allowing bonus offers regarding online casino. The limitation of those bonuses was 100 Swedish krona, approximately 10 euro. And the industry received this in a rather upset way, and the reason for that is that the industry has during the Swedish new licensing system, we have faced a number of amendments to the Swedish gambling legislation. As most of you probably know, Sweden re-regulated 1.5 years ago. And we were not super pleased about every detail in that regulation, but we had been struggling for quite some time to convince the Swedish government to abandon its monopoly system in favor of a licensing system. And in general, we were pleased about the fact that Sweden decided to re-regulate its gambling market. But unfortunately, during the path, the government in general and the minister in charge in particular has taken several decisions, several initiatives to add regulation and other regulatory measures to licensed operators that unfortunately has had a severe impact on the conditions for the licensed operators, but also for the consumers. The consumers, they have found the licensed offer to be less attractive compared to the offers that they quite easily can receive from just about anywhere outside the licensing system. And as a consequence, we have seen that the channelization into the licensing system has suffered. We began with a very high channelization. My own estimate is that we probably reached a channelization of close to 100% in the very beginning of 1st of January 2019. And when we received the first public official channelization by the spring of 2019, the SDA stated that their estimate was that the channelization was 91%. But after that, starting from the autumn of 2019, the channelization has unfortunately gone down quite significantly. It started with when the SDA stated that the channelization had went below 90%, which, by the way, is the governmental goal, and that was already a fact by the autumn of 2019. This spring, the spring of 2020, my association, the Swedish Trade Association for Online Gambling, we order an independent channelization estimate from the consultancy firm Copenhagen Economics. And they stated that the decrease of the channelization has continued in Sweden, and for that reason we find it quite interesting and troublesome that the government, despite that, continues to take measures and steps that we know for sure will have a negative impact on the channelization. So and the worst example when it comes to channelization is online casino. Comes as no surprise, since online casino is more or less not aware of any borders. It's quite accessible to reach the gray and black market should the punter want to. And it's super important when one regulates online casino that the license, the legal offer, is attractive for the punter. In Sweden, we now have a channelization when it comes to online casino of approximately 75%. And we asked consultancy firm Copenhagen Economics once again to make an estimate of the future channelization should the government implement the measures that they in fact did starting from 1st of July. And the message that we received from Copenhagen Economics was quite troublesome, stating that channelization may go down further to figures as low as 62-63% in the worst case. And this should be something to put on the agenda, not just for the industry, but also for the regulator and also for the legislator, because obviously it is of utmost importance when one is re-regulating the gambling market that the regulated market is actually possible to attract the consumers to that market, because, well, on that market the state is able to receive profits via taxation. The industry is possible to be profitable, and also, of course, that the licensed operators as well as the regulatory body has the ability to reach the consumers with important customer protection measures. So right now, I would say that the most important task when it comes to policy efforts here in Sweden, for my industry association, the most important task is to convince the government as well as the SGA that without a better and improved channelization, without that, the state will also lose its customer protection measures, its possibility to protect the customers, as well as tax, obviously. It is always difficult for a politician to balance customer protection on one hand, and at the other hand to also protect the attractiveness within the licensing system. And I think that we've seen a number of cases, not just in Sweden, but all over the world, all over Europe at least, where the political stakeholders as well as authorities are tempted to go too far in measures that one knows from the beginning will have a severe impact, a negative impact on the channelization. So the challenge for the autumn, at least in Sweden, is to protect the channelization, and as a consequence to protect customer protection, and in fact also to protect the power to the government. If the government does not have control over its own market within its own jurisdiction, then it is obviously impossible for the government to gain the income, the tax income, and also to reach out with its customer protection. It actually feels quite strange that it's more or less only the industry, at least in my own jurisdiction, that fully understands the importance. Well, that's about what we have, what we want to add from Sweden, and I leave over to you. Thank you.